We are the Liberty Intelligence Organization Network. And this is our news recap show. I am your host. You can call me the Captain. Now, what I want to talk about today, it's been a while since I've uploaded any special reports or done anything like for the channel. I've gotten a lot of views since then. I'm glad to see it's rising. And basically what we do here on the news recap show is I go over a bunch of information that most people usually don't know about, just to try to inform them about the world around them and the things that are occurring, and how these will have an impact upon our lives, the impact they will have, or the impact they may have already had, and you just aren't aware of it because no one's ever told you about it. So that all that being said, since I haven't been able to do any special reports recently, it's because I've been working on my Operation Polar Bear film, which includes learning a number of video software programs and music software programs and how to do a bunch of different things like that. So in the long run, it's good. Maybe in the future, I'll be able to put more stuff together. But at the moment, in all that time, I have been putting special reports together. I just haven't had the chance to actually sit down and film, an analysis of what this means or how this connects to the overall New World Order takeover plan, which is really important to understand that this is the heart of the tyrannical force that is imposing the majority of these, really tyrannical control things, whether they be, poisoned in the food through GMO, whether they be dumbing down viruses and fluoride, stuff that's added to city water, whether it be, I don't know, the connection between the MMR vaccines and the rise in autism rate, 78% in the last 10 years. And for those of you who don't know what that means, I will be doing a special report all about that. So you'll just have to stay tuned into more special reports as I upload them. But today what I want to talk about here, and by the way, I can extend videos now longer than 10 minutes. So that's a good thing. I'm not limited by time restraints anymore, so none of those stupid time checks. But I am going to stick to just doing short little, as short as I can do, 7-minute, 9-minute, 12-minute videos, just where I focus on one topic and connect it to the New World Order, and then give you links directly to this individual topic. And in the future, I might be adding links, or putting playlists together of specific, special reports that all are talking about a similar topic or a similar agenda within the New World Order apparatus. And it does take a while to understand, which is why, the information and the investigation that most people had to do, for 30 years, for 20 years, for 10 years, for 12 years. I've done it for 14 years. Other people have researched longer. Other people have been talking about it longer. But it's taken us a while just to wrap our minds around it. So what we're trying to do is get you to understand it almost the way a teacher takes their understanding of whatever the topic happens to be. Whether it's history, whether it's biology, whether it's chemistry, whether it's writing, whatever their specific understanding level happens to be, they take that and they teach you about it in the best way understood. They've taken all the aspects of it, analyzed it into a cohesive manner, and they're now giving it to you so that you can in turn understand it better and possibly take from their understanding and take it further. But most people who want to deny this just refuse to deny it outright instead of taking this knowledge and investigating further, because we may be experts compared to most people about this topic, people who talk about the truth, other truthers, other liberty movement people. We may be experts compared to the average Joe. But when it really gets down to it, we're all trying to really grasp the full intensity of all this. I mean, a lot of it we now know, but you have to understand what we know if we're going to expand our understanding and come up with logical, peaceful solutions, which is the ultimate goal of trying to understand something like this. Because we know there is a forceful way of ending it, and they know there's a forceful way of taking over. But the New World Order is hesitant to do that because they also know that could bring about their own demise in the long run. It could really destroy everything. So they don't want to go down that path, and we definitely don't want to go down path. Despite what people say, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, you really want to see this happen?" And I'm like, no. If I wanted to see this happen, believe me, I would not be telling you about it, or I would be denying it. I would, you can tell when somebody wants this to happen, and I've met people who want this to happen, but we got to understand we're trying to express the truth now so that we can all come up with a solution together. We can all put our minds together and say, okay, how is the best way to handle this tyrannical takeover, which is attempting right now to enslave the entire globe? And the United States of America, with its Bill of Rights, is the only defense mechanism against this global tyranny. So all that being said, sorry for the long intro here, but I really want people to grasp how monumental this is, and since this is really like my first special report in a couple of months, I really want to not only reinvigorate myself so that I can start putting together special reports and really getting my mind wrapped around the stuff that I'm trying to present after my short hiatus, but also to remind folks and anyone who's this is their first video seeing, to get you to understand how dire and serious this really is. This is real life. This is not a fictional game, and what I'm about to explain really fits into to gaming, really. And I'm a gamer. I play a lot of video games. I grew up playing video games. It's a passion of mine. I like to play video games every now and then with friends. But I also like to do all sorts of other things. I practice martial arts. I work out sometimes. I go to work. I work on my science fiction novels. I do some artwork. I do a number of things. I read newspapers. I check out videos online. I check out other news articles. I put together all these special reports. I do all this research. I mean, I do a number of things, but I also do play video games. And what I want to talk about today is another aspect of the brainwashing mechanism, which is really designed not to brainwash somebody. When somebody hears that, they think like a hypnotist with that's a swingy thing, putting somebody in a trance and like act like a chicken. That's not what I mean by brainwashing. What they do with a brainwash is they either implant a specific opinion or a way to view something or a normalization of something. And I'm really going to try to explain all that. What I mean by when they implant like an idea into your brain, it's like they take an opinion that or a topic that can either have an opinion one way or another, or multiple facets of an opinion. They'll take that topic and skew it so that your mind envisions a specific opinion about this individual topic, whatever it be, whether it be abortion, whether it be gun confiscation, whether it be a number of different facets, those being the most prominent at the moment today, or healthcare reform if we want to step back a couple of years. But they'll take that and they'll implant a message like this is good, and you may not understand it, but it'll go in your subconscious, and then when it comes to decision making, your subconscious will implant into your cognitive thinking that you have to respond in this manner. So that's how they do that. Now another way they do it is they normalize us to something, whether it be normalizing us that we're going to be ruled by a tyrant through shows like Walking Dead, where they introduce you to characters like Rick and the Governor, and Rick's the leader of the good guys and everyone follows him, although the good guys don't they all can really, there's freedom and liberty in the good guy movement, even though they have overarching king dominant tyrant ruler. And then there's the governor, the antagonist in the story so far, to replace Shane in the storyline. For those of you who follow The Walking Dead, to replace Shane, they have the governor, and he's like this tyrannical figure that rules over a prison camp. And it's really crazy when you think about it, because it is like the FEMA camp. They invite people in. It's like, yeah, come in, we'll keep you safe, it'll be wonderful, the zombies won't get you in here. And then you go in there, and it's like, nope, you're not allowed to leave. Welcome to our prison camp. Now just be happy and do what you're told. And that's really what they set up. And it's to normalize us to this view, to this understanding. Again, they do it with other shows. Last Resort was normalizing us to the idea of a liberty movement rising up. You see, they normalize you, and then they normalize you to other things. Like, for example, in video games. Call of Duty games, shooter-up games, they normalize you to people dying, or in movies, they normalize you to people dying, they normalize you to cops gunning people down, they normalize you to torture, they normalize you to this concept of this war on terror, or this war on drugs. They normalize all their control sphere mechanisms where they really dictate reality to the point where it's hard for you to accept the truth because they've skewed reality so far. So that being said, I want to talk about the main topic of this short video. I'm not sure, it might be kind of long since I've done all this overarching explanation. But is TV flicker rates, and that really relates to what I was talking about, how they implant images or implant ideas and opinions or normalize certain topics, as well as dumb down not only the intelligence but the literacy. Again, if you have a certain opinion that's been implanted into you through whatever the brainwashing mechanism happened to be, whether it be the poison in the food, or through the brainwashing in the TV, or through an active DARPA program, whatever it was that happened to instill this opinion within you, at the time that it needs to be used, it's triggered and released, and then you respond in a certain way. So that's why it's so important to understand this. Now, TV flicker rates is just another tool in the cabinet of the globalist, toolkit. It's like, okay, we can do poison in the vaccines, poison in the toothpaste, poison in the food, TV flicker rates, overall blatant imagery, subliminal messages. They got like a number of tools. TV flicker rates is another one. Now, what do TV flicker rates do? What is it in the first place? Well, it's the flash rate of a TV. And you may not even be able to pick it up at your normal eye level. Your eyes only see a certain spectrum of light. But there is other things in the spectrum that your eyes can't see. Infrared, heat, a number of different things, ultraviolet. We only see the basic color spectrum. But there's a whole vast spectrum that we are not visible to. Well, it's in that non-visible spectrum that your eyes still pick up, but your brain's unable to interpret into a picture. It still goes into your brain. So the flicker rates causes your brain to go into what is called an REM sleep mode. Now, what is an REM sleep mode? That's called rapid eye movement. Anyone who's taken basic psychology 101, you will learn what REM sleep is. They might even teach it in the high school psychology courses. I never took psychology in high school. I don't took it in college, but they might even teach it there. But it's rapid eye movement sleep, and it's when you're dreaming, your eyes are still moving around because your brain's creating images. So that's what the flicker rate's designed to do. And again, they can do it with anything that's visually shown to you off a screen. Anything that your brain, notice if you read or if you listen to a voice recording or anything like that without video, which is one of the reasons I sort of just like just me sitting here, because it's not about me. I really prefer you to minimize the window and just listen to what I'm talking about. Visualize it with your own mind. That triggers your mind to become more active, when instead you're just receiving an image and just watching nully something on the screen. At the same time, they're able to implant flicker rates, which causes your brain to go into an REM sleep. And you're not necessarily going to fall asleep, but your brain enters that mode where the subconscious is able to receive information without any hindrance. Your cognitive mind usually creates a filter for your subconscious when you're awake and aware. But when you go to sleep, there's no more filtering. Your mind becomes able to absorb in a subconscious level, which is the real powerhouse behind who you are, what you believe, how you feel, which is why you can really change people. Some people, they have head injuries, and they completely change into new people, just based off a head injury, because whatever aspect of the brain that was meant to control that personality trait was damaged or altered, or different synapses closed while others opened, whatever. But that's how it all works. So TV flicker rates, they're out there. This is all very real. People have to understand how real this all is, but I'm going to throw in links for TV flicker rates. I encourage people to go check it out for themselves. I don't want to drag this on for any more because it's already probably pretty long special report here where I've gone over really a plethora of information, but it's really supposed to only be about TV flicker rates. But sometimes I go off like that just so I can get myself focused and really inspire people to get focused themselves, and I hope people understand that. So I want to thank you all for tuning in, and as always, I want to remind everyone to stay safe, to stay strong, to stay free, and to stay informed.